Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Alliance War Season 24, War number 4. We're back on Path 5 today. We're bringing in Apocalypse, Human Torch, Sorcerer Supreme, and we're going to do a little scout. Got this Red Goblin up first, a Dark Hawk, Korg on the backup recovery, Nick Fury on Mixmaster, we've got the Mojo on Footloose, Dr. Doom and a Kingpin. That Kingpin is really good placement. That's very smart since his buff. Apocalypse Boss, Apocalypse Mini, Dragon Man. Not too bad. Pretty standard mini bosses and boss there. So let's jump into our first fight, which is against a Red Goblin. So Red Goblin on the Ebb and Flow, knockdown, heavy hitter. This is probably just a diversity placement. I don't see anything really troubling here. We're going to use Apocalypse just to get a persistent charge so that he'll have a passive prowess later just to make his specials hit a little harder. Sorcerer Supreme obviously could have done this fight, but we're going to go with Apocalypse. We get the knockdown, so we have the Fury, and that's really all we have to worry about this fight, is keeping that Fury up and making sure we parry him after the protection kicks in so he won't purify it, and dexing the special one. So the special one is pretty easy to evade. The first part, you just stay away. Once he throws the little grenade at you, dex back, and there we go. So pretty straightforward special. I'm gonna knock him down with another heavy here. And the fight is kind of slow. That's just how Apocalypse fights have tended to go for me this season. He is not the best Alliance War attacker. The more I use him, the more I'm kind of realizing that he's just a bit slow, and the slower these fights go, the longer they last, and the more likely chance that you're going to make a mistake. And that is ultimately how the defender wins, is by outlasting you and just forcing you into a mistake at some point. So this war kind of had me rethinking Apocalypse as an attacker. I'm not sure it's the best strategy to bring him in anymore, even though he does have certain uses because of his ability accuracy reduction for purifying effects. So it's nice that defenders cannot shrug off and purify his debuffs, but ultimately, not sure that's enough. So this fight is almost over. We've played it pretty much perfectly, but we're 53, 55 hits in now, and still took nearly 2 minutes, and it's not a challenging fight, so that just goes to how slow his fights tend to go. I think a lot of other attackers could have gotten that done in a lot less hits and a lot faster, so ultimately it's what we wanted, full attack bonus, and we move on. So for the second time this season, I'm going to be taking this Mixmaster node. The first one that I took, I think 2 wars ago, was the Korg, and this one is Nick Fury. So we're going to use Apocalypse again here. This is obviously a much better matchup for Apocalypse. He's a pretty low sig Nick Fury, so he's going to drop in his second life pretty quick. We boost it up because we're not going to trigger Protect. He's not a large or extra large champion. And the goal here is basically just to parry and heavy in his first phase, or parry and medium light mediums to avoid that Mixmaster. So that's kind of what we're sticking to. He also has the Power Focus 1, so he's much more likely to be throwing that special 1, which he does right here. Obviously that's not ideal. You want Nick Fury to throw the special 2, but not much we can do about it on this node, unfortunately. And so far, we're off to a really good start. I didn't think I had the parry there, so that's why I didn't hit in. But we've got the poison from the special 1 on him. The bleeds from each heavy attack are doing some damage. He's stacking the prowess though, and you can see the specials are hitting a little hard through the block. Fortunately, Apocalypse's specials are pretty lengthy and do a lot of hits, so that is a good way to keep the prowess under controls by launching Apocalypse's specials, which we want to get to a special 2 here. And I think we do, yeah, on this parry. So we're going to throw the special 2. This gets rid of all of his prowess, and this does pretty good damage. We bring him down. He's almost into his second phase right here. And we still have 81% health. So we're in pretty good shape right now. We're feeling pretty good about this fight. we're gonna send him into his second phase here. And obviously this is the hardest part of Nick Fury. This is where he gets a lot of people. He's in his second life, you can't stun him. And on the Mix Master, it adds a little bit more difficulty because you have to be careful. Like right here, going in, he was able to evade me. I get a medium, light, medium off right there though, into a special one. Not gonna kill him. We don't get any crits, unfortunately. I think if we got a little better criticals, it could have killed him. Unfortunately, it did not. Here's where we run into trouble. He goes unblockable with that special one. That does so much damage. So yeah, he's permanently unblockable now until he throws another special. We get a nice intercept there, but I didn't finish it with a medium like I probably should have, and we get clipped right here, and the bleeds are hurting. Fortunately, he goes into a heavy animation right afterwards, and we can go in, and we get the one shot. That little combo we caught, though, cost us so much health. Definitely not ideal. 59 hits, but full attack bonus on the Mix Master. That's what really matters. So, yeah, felt pretty good about that, actually. Despite losing the health, it went pretty smoothly. So, we're going to head into Section 2 now, where we have this Ebb and Flow intercept Dr. Doom. And this is going to be a pretty straightforward fight. We don't need Human Torch for anything else this war. So we're going to use that pre-fight, make sure the Flame On stuck. It did. We still have a few boosts on, because again, he's not large or extra large. No worry about triggering that Protect Global. And we're going to go in, and this is a pretty standard Human Torch fight. I do make a mistake in it. You'll definitely see the mistake that I make. I don't try to go for an intercept, because the Nova Flames are going to be doing more than enough damage to down him, even with the cap on our damage. So right here, I just, it's just really bad timing. I just happened to be dashing back when he threw his special right in the middle of it, and there's nothing I could do. So we get nailed by it. We don't get incinerated because obviously we're immune to it. That's where most of the damage comes from. Throw the special 2 off, and you can just see the Nova Flames and the Power Stings are going to be enough to get the job done relatively easily. Pretty straightforward fight. Despite the mistake, we get the full attack bonus, and again, we're deathless, so we're feeling pretty good. We're 3-0 so far. We're off to a pretty good start this war. So this big dude right here, I mentioned earlier this was good placement, and it definitely is, because now that Kingpin has been buffed, each one of his rage debuffs now count as actual debuffs, and with redoubled determination, that's going to increase his power gain and attack, plus Kingpin's new buffed ability also gives him increased power gain and attack for each debuff anyway. So all those rage stacks, which he will slowly acquire, he gets one every 20 seconds, are going to be driving his power gain to insane levels, and there's nothing you can do about it, because the only way to get rid of these debuffs is for him to purify them himself and turn them into a Fury, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the only way to get rid of them. He's also healing through them as long as the person is running willpower, which they are. So he's healing slowly through his debuffs, through the willpower mastery, and this dude is also not cooperating. He's not throwing his specials leniently at all. So you saw I got a nice intercept there. We're going to get this special off while we have the Fury up. We trigger Protect, but we knock him down, and that gets rid of it. So it comes back right here from the lane node from Path 5. So he's back to being pretty beefy. We're not dealing a lot of damage. Finally, he's throwing his special ones pretty liberally, though, so that's good. But on the downside, he has 4 debuffs now between the Rage and the Poison. He just got his 4th Rage, and you can see how much power he's gaining. So every hit I do is giving him massive power gain. We go for an intercept right here, we get it, and we launch another special one-off, which again does pretty good damage. That Fury buff gives us a really nice boost to our damage. Unfortunately, it pushes him to a special 2, and that does a lot of damage through the block, but it also gives him a crazy long unstoppable now, and we just have to kind of wait it out. And now he's got 5 rage debuffs, and you can just see every hit is giving him like almost half a bar of power, and that's just going to keep getting worse. And now he's being really stingy with his specials again, and I don't want to get backed against the wall, but he's back to 2 bars of power, and I'm getting really worried. because again, he's not throwing them. And yeah, there's some more block damage and a really long unstoppable buff. So we have to wait this out. We do our best, but we're already back against the wall. I thought I threw the special as his unstoppable expired. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too late. So we're going to catch a nice combo off of that. Pushes him back to a special 2. Our health is pretty much gone at this point, and I get an intercept there, but obviously it pushes him to a special 3. Nothing I can do about it. This Kingpin just had my number, and it was very good placement. I'm not really upset about the death. I kind of thought this is what might happen, and I was trying to down him fast enough before he gained a whole lot of rage. It just didn't work out, and again, that's because Apocalypse has some very slow fights. So there's our first death. Someone else finished him off, but yeah, it was a little upsetting, not gonna lie. So we're on the mini-boss island now, and I've got one fight here, and it's this Stunning Reflection Polkadot Power Apocalypse. So we're gonna use Sorcerer Supreme, and to be honest, I wasn't really sure how this fight was gonna go. I didn't really feel great about it going into it. I think it's definitely possible, and if I had played better, it is actually a very good option. She's a great option for this node because she still gains power passively, just not through hitting him. So ultimately, yes, this probably is a great fight, and it's a great matchup on paper. You will see another mistake though, and this one is just such a bad one on my part, and it's the most obvious mistake that people make on this node, I'm sure, which is using that muscle memory that we have all built from playing this game for so long to parry at the right time and reduce the damage. So a little spoiler for what's coming. At the beginning, this fight's going really well though. I get the right ruin off, so I heal back the block damage from his first special. We're going to keep the spacing pretty good. We're going to keep him on his side of the map. We're gaining power slowly. And yeah, we're going to enter our third bar of power here, which gives us the healing ruin now after every special, which is what we wanted to lock in, because obviously we're going to be eating a lot of block damage, not being able to stun. Special 3 does a fair amount of damage, it's fine. We're not going to trigger protect from it. And now we just need to bait out the special 2, and we're going to block the hits because we're regenning the health. All good. Go in for another combo. Gonna block the special. Go in, hit him again. Throw the special 1 so we get the healing regeneration on block back. And this is basically a endurance fight at this point. Just kind of hoping to outlast him and not time out. But so far we're off to a pretty good start. He is healing through willpower. I definitely noticed that. But we're about 2 minutes in here. And, you know, I'm not worried about timing out. That's not what I'm thinking about. But right there it is. There it is. There's the perfect timing. There's the parry. And there's a huge special 2, which just downs us. And yeah, there's our second death. And ultimately, there's nobody to blame but myself. It was just a bad mistake. And when you're at this level and you've developed such deep rosters, you've been playing this game for so long, so many years, you have worked so hard to develop that muscle memory to get that timing right on your parries. And, you know, that's what happened. I defaulted back to that muscle memory, and it's subconscious, and I couldn't help it. But it cost me the fight here, and what I should have done is just remove the parry mastery to ensure that wouldn't happen. But I didn't. I know better for next time. Fortunately, we got the win, and this was definitely a big team win for us, which I really did not contribute much towards. So really well done by our battle group and by the other battle groups as well. We played really well as a team. Our opponents played extremely well as well. So good credit to them. The attack bonus was very close. It was a very small margin of victory, but that puts us at 2-2 on the season now, which is great. It's a good start. Personally, that I think counts now 6 deaths in 4 wars for me personally, which is not a good start. It's hard to think of a worse start to war I've had. So certainly not the start I was looking for. We're going to look to clean up a lot of this going forward, get a little more comfortable. It's the first war season with this new group, so it takes a little bit of time getting used to and adjust, especially when you're taking a new path. But ultimately, this is a position where I need to improve and do better, and we're going to try to do that going forward and really push for a higher war ranking. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.